Welcome back, everyone. Привіт усім, як справи? Some intense news out of Crimea, Russian-occupied Ukrainian territory for now. A Russian thermal power plant in Kerch in Russian-occupied Crimea has been hit in a Ukrainian drone and missile attack. Half of Crimea is now completely without electricity. This is more of good news that we have here. So where's Kerch? And if you guys are not familiar with the maps, I love maps. I look when I get bored, I go on Google Maps and I just do Street View. I look up all the maps. I feel like I'm an expert at maps now. But anyways, where's Crimea on the map? So it's a peninsula. Here's Russia, Ukraine's right here, and this area right here, the peninsula. By the way, very beautiful. Crimea is an amazing part of Ukraine. Like for example, if you look at Yalta is like one of the nicer places. So whenever Ukraine frees Crimea from the Russian pigs, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. As you can tell right here, let me see, this is a little 360. What an amazing, people never think that, wow, this is Ukraine. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of nice. Beautiful place. Water is looking good. Black Sea. And an amazing place. So Ukraine's gonna bring Crimea back home. I got a little sidetracked there, but let's get back to the story. So the Kerch, where's Kerch located in Crimea? So here is the Kerch, and here's the Kerch, they call it Crimean Bridge. That's funny. It's actually Kerch Bridge, but here's Kerch, and that's where the thermal power plant is. Right here is Kerch. I don't know where the thermal power plant. We can always look it up, but it's somewhere around here, right? And that literally is a big hit by the Ukrainians, and very, very good news. And at some point, you guys, this bridge is gonna get destroyed by Flamingo missile or whatever. So maybe Western weapons, cruise missiles, whatever. So we're gonna basically isolate any Russians that are in Crimea. So if you're a Russian in Crimea and you have problems with gas and you want to leave, you should leave now. This is a good time to leave back to your mother Russia. You fucked around and you found out. It's only gonna get worse. Here's another interesting post. Russia has started rehearsing the loss of Crimea. So a pro-war Russian blogger with close ties to the Russian Defense Ministry published a diagram titled "The Crimean Bridge as an Ultimate Target of the Blockade of Crimea." So basically with all these weapons that, Ukraine has, the Flamingo homemade ones, and then obviously the, Neptune missiles, they're basically in the process of cutting out any roads or bridges that Russia has over Crimea. So all of these roads along here, and the Russians have to bring in a lot of weapon systems and any military equipment. So at some point, Russia is not going to be able to bring any more weapons into the peninsula, and they're going to be stuck there with nothing. Here's a little map that they posted. Goal. So yeah, see, this is all Ukraine. They're going to be attacking the Kerch, the Crimean Bridge, apparently. All these missiles, Flamingos, Neptune missiles, they're all going to be hitting that bridge. That's the ultimate goal here against the Russians on this peninsula, to cut off any Russian supply. It has started. We're seeing this right now, and it's only going to get worse for the Russians. Leave now before it's too late for you if you're Russian citizens, or if you want to start learning Ukrainian. That's another option. You have an option too as well. Here's another interesting video by some Russian that posted that the checkpoints in Russia, so this is not even in Crimea, in Russia, that they can't even get through because the drones are hitting all these logistical roads that bring in supplies towards Crimea. So here's the video. Let's check it out. And I will translate to you guys in real time. I speak Russian and Ukrainian, so whatever there is I need to translate, I will translate. You're shooting at drones. Oh, there it is. Here's another video by Ukrainian military intelligence has struck a Russian logistics route running through the so-called land bridge to occupied Crimea. So this is probably the more important video of this video. So there's a bridge you can see right there from the north side of Crimea, and they use those river made up bridges or whatever, and they're just gonna keep popping them off. They have these drones that are, you guys, these drones are like next level shit. So I'm not even joking. I just learned about this not too long ago. They literally, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they literally have like this plane or something, and it dumps a bunch of drones into an area, and then those drones have an AI system where they find their own targets on their own. Do you understand? They're not remotely controlled anymore. Literally, AI is finding their own targets and taking the enemies out. This is some crazy next level shit. I had no idea they're already doing that. So you can tell all of these feedback videos of, look at him, all those Russians are just running for their lives. Probably a good idea. That's crazy. Just targeting all of those lines, supply lines. I'm saying at this rate, you give it another 3 months, man, it's going to be a little interesting. Here's another interesting post. The U.S. Deputy Representative at the United Nations said Russia's position continues to deteriorate. Let's watch the video real quick and see what the United States says. Even though I think United Nations is kind of a joke, but whatever.
As President Trump made clear during the G7 summit last week, Russia should make a deal. Time is not on Moscow's side. Russia is taking 40,000 casualties per month. Its economy is severely strained. Ukraine is innovating quickly. Diplomacy and negotiation, not more bloodshed, are the only answer. Nothing else will stop this senseless killing. This war has gone on for far too long, and it must end.
We all know that the only way this war stops is if more Russians die. And I'm talking not like a little amount. You know, it's going to take a lot more. And that's just what it is, folks. That's just the reality. That's just how it goes. You know, this war is not going to stop. Vladimir Putin is not going to stop this. He can't stop this. He's scared. He's hiding out. If he stops this war tomorrow, you know, he's gone. He's going to be in the dirt probably next month after he stops the war. So there's no way out for him. He's going to continue as much as he can. He's going to push his own people as far as he can. And the Russian people are so used to it, they will eat his shit. They will eat his shit for next 5-10 years if nothing crazy happens. It's just the mentality of the regular Russians. That's just how it's all been programmed. It's part of the Soviet Union mentality. We will suffer until the end of times. And that's just unfortunate brainwashing of Russian propaganda in the last 30 years of their country. So that's just how that goes. I know this shit. I came from Ukraine. It's very simple, you guys. Here's another interesting video posted today. Putin rejects negotiations with Ukraine when asked how he would respond to Zelensky's letter proposing direct negotiations. Putin stated that due to Ukrainian strikes, there can be no personal meetings or direct talks. Well, he didn't want to meet before Ukrainians striked Russia. Now he definitely doesn't want to meet. So it's just a bunch of excuses nonstop. And it's going to keep going until somebody in Russia finally stands up to this retarded guy. Let's watch the video.
А то письмо, которое товарищ Зеленский вам тогда, помните, вы на Петербургском Крымском форуме озвучили, называли это бумажкой, все-таки он не создает предпосылок к каким-то переговорам?
Нет, такие обращения не создают предпосылок. Они же к чему сводятся? К тому, чтобы, наоборот, создать какой-то конфликтный потенциал. Вот он направил эту бумажку. Они же постоянно об этом говорят. Мы хотим личных встреч, хотим личных встреч. Ну и что? А через 3 дня удар по Старобельску. Как это понимать? Как это понимать? Ну что же здесь, какие же предпосылки для личных встреч и переговоров?
And then somebody made this AI video recently, so I decided to play this out just for you guys. I thought that was funny. And then right after the whole thing, Putin stated that Russia is ready for peace negotiations with Ukraine, which is so funny. Like literally, he's just like, I don't want any.
Россия, тем не менее, как уже не раз говорилось, готова к мирным переговорам с Украиной, готова на базе договоренностей, которые достигнуты были еще в Стамбуле и, напомню, были парафированы тогда украинской делегацией. Значит, все их устраивало. Не вижу оснований отходить от этих договоренностей с нашей стороны. Но на базе договоренностей, достигнутых в Стамбуле, на базе модальностей, которые обсуждались в Анкоридже, и реалий, самое главное, реалий на земле, а также принципов, изложенных мною пару лет назад в ходе выступления в Министерстве иностранных дел.
So basically, what he's saying is he's okay with negotiations that they had years ago, and because he didn't want to do it then, but now that the Ukrainians making some moves, like, you know what, maybe we will take this negotiation deal. But it's all a bunch of baloney, you know. It's all bunch of bullshit just for the news to pick up his sound bites as far as like, oh, we're ready for negotiations. It's a bunch of bullshit, you guys. This guy is backed into a corner, and it's only a matter of time before something crazy happens. And if not, the Moscow and all the other Russian towns are going to keep burning even more, because Ukraine is not going to stop. They're not going to stop until the Russians leave all of Ukraine. And honestly, I can't predict the future, but it's going to get a lot worse for the Russians in the next couple months, and we're only going to see more and better news. So this is very exciting. I'm excited to see how it all plays out in the next couple months. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you guys have any questions or there's something I missed. Дякую всім, хто мене дивиться на українській мові або на англійській мові. Бережіть себе, and we'll see you guys next time. До побачення.